would you talk about your orientation, how you're looking in a different direction now than you were before you met Sid?
I'm enthralled with the role of thought, that we as human beings have the power to create. That's where I'm engaged in that. I'm engaged in the wonder of that. I never cease to get tired of that. I'm always in wonderment that we as human beings have the power to create our experience. That to me is the answer to everything, because we're the drivers. We're the drivers. We're the drivers in our world. And earlier I had said I'd felt like a passenger, just along for the ride. Now I feel like I'm the driver. And so there's not a lot of attachment then to that, because it's more the reflection or contemplation of being the thinker.
So tell me if this is right. So you're saying, when I was a passenger, I was interested in everything I saw out the window, Whereas when I saw that I was really the driver, I was interested in how the driving happens.
Right.
What's happening with the driving. I wasn't so much interested in what I'm seeing out the window.
Well, I'm interested in what I'm seeing out the window, but I'm not attached to it. So I'm seeing it more with wonder. I'm not judging it.
Yeah.
Oh, the tree has lost its leaves.
Yeah.
It's like, the tree has lost its leaves. There's beauty in that. We go over a bump. It's like, could hurt the tires, the drama of that. There was always something wrong. I would see something wrong. Now that I'm the driver, everything is interesting. It's this thing about, there's a saying about being upstream. The principles are upstream and everything else is downstream. I love everything else downstream as well, because it's the same stream. And so everything is more fascinating now that I have a clue I'm the thinker, because I'm not attached to what I'm thinking about. There's neutrality there. And I love this about the stream. The penny dropped for me just recently about that. I used to have judgment about what I considered was downstream, way down from the principles. That's fascinating. It's still an outcome of the principles. And it's fascinating to me now. There's that neutrality that makes everything fascinating. And also because whatever is in the stream is in this one stream that could be looked at as an example of, this formless energy. So anything to do in the world is fascinating. If you're not gripped, you're not attached, you're just seeing it with clarity and enjoyment.
Now that to me is another way of talking about the neutrality that you talked about earlier. And it explains what's behind the neutrality. See, what I heard you saying is, what's behind the neutrality is that once I saw myself as the thinker and as the creator, I was interested in the creation that came out of me, came out of my thinking. So I was interested in it, but I was more interested in the fact that this creation was happening on a moment-to-moment basis than I was in the particulars of what was created and whether it was good, whether it was bad.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.